Welcome to Remnant Online Followers. Please kindly subscribe. Thank you.
Those of you who have served to a level, you know that sometimes even your own husbands, you have to battle with them in prayer for them to release you. Not fighting with hands. In prayer, you battle on your knees for your husband to release you. Which one is this church all the time? I know how my mother labored. She is president of St. Anthony of Padua. She is secretary general of St. Peter and Paul. She is we were Catholics. She is in Catholic charismatic renewal. So every other day of the week, she will go to church, do a meeting or pray. And if she comes back home in the night, 2 a.m., she is singing and praying. My dad became so tired. Are you a prayer? Did you marry to pray? It became an issue in the house. For months, she will be praying for my father's heart to open. Sometimes he will wake up and exercise his authority and say, "You are out of this particular fellowship." But thank God she didn't stop. Because if she stopped, I would have been a drunkard by now. Thank God she didn't stop. Because if she stopped, I would have been a womanizer by now. This apostle preaching today is not preaching because he's wise. It's preaching because I became a burnt offering on the altar. Thank God she didn't stop. Today she has gone to be with the Lord. But even my father will thank God that I'm who I am today. Because he doesn't have to think about anything. Before he thinks about it, I provide it. Thank God she didn't stop. Most of you who don't have the capacity to sacrifice relationship, you are selling the future of your children. Pray and fast until that door opens to serve. I'm telling you, I have many mentors, but none of them did half the work my mom did. There was a season of my life I began to club. Every Friday we were dancing in the club, drinking style lager beer. When you put 5 bottles down, then you become a man. I would have ended up in the gutter somewhere as a drunk. What business do I have on the altar talking to the nations? Except as that woman refused that she must serve God. She prayed, she fasted, she worshiped. Even her did not know that she was ransoming my future. Because you cannot pray other people's children to the kingdom and your own is useless. You cannot win souls to the kingdom and your own is useless. So while she was laboring, she was not just laboring to serve God, she was securing my destiny. I cannot tell you how many times I've escaped death. Sometimes I escape death and the Holy Ghost will remind me that today was covered 14 years ago. In the days of prayer and fasting, she secured our destiny. These ones can't die. They must fulfill purpose. Did you not read about Samuel? Before Samuel became wise, the mother already consecrated her as a prophet. There was a transaction she carried out with Eli before he was born. He had no choice but to be a prophet. Not because he desired it, but his destiny was concluded on the altar before he came. So today, a potential drunkard is an apostle. I wanted to go back into the world. See, God will just orchestrate strange things. On one of those days, I was going to board a bus in a commercial park. I sat with a pastor, and the pastor began to talk to me. I wept in that journey. That was a season where I made up my mind to go to the world. See, but there was too much prayer. There was too much prophecy. So if God needs to route a stranger to bring me back, that stranger will appear. And if there's no stranger, even an angel can become a man to make sure that you will not fail. We are not here because we are strong. We are here by the powers of covenant. We are here by the powers of priesthood that mothers that knew God. That's why the Bible spoke of holy women. They receive even their dead back to life. That's the power of the womb. Holy women, even dead, they can bring them back to life because they can cry with God there for 10 years and they will not go back. These are the things that your service procure for you, securing the destiny of generations after you. Imagine if my mom said, "I don't want to have problem with my husband, so I will stop." Today, she would have been unfulfilled in heaven. She would have been weeping in heaven. Because when she looks down on earth, all her children would have been wayward. None of her daughters married out of wedlock. They are all in their husbands' houses now. And me, who is the only boy on earth, I'm preaching the gospel like fire. Imagine if she said, oh, I don't want my husband to be offended. She prayed her way through. And she was not even a Pentecostal who understood tongues. Sometimes she will carry her rosary and she will pray 15 decades of her rosary, but crying and weeping, God was responding to her faith. And then you are a tongue talker, but you cannot serve and activate your priesthood. Even my father that tried to resist her is lucky his attack didn't work. Because if it worked, by now all of us would have been in trouble. If you want to be a visionary worker, you must have uncontestable and uncompromising regard for instituted protocol and authorities. Uncontestable because you don't question authority. You don't question laid down protocols. Uncompromising because you don't fail in responding to the demands and the dictates of protocols and authority. If you don't have this value, you cannot be a visionary leader. You cannot be a visionary worker. You will become a weight in the assignment. Anybody who will be a blessing to the vision must not contest, question, or challenge authorities and protocols. The moment you find yourself doing that, you are no longer a blessing in the workforce. Hebrews 13 verse 17. It says, obey them that have the rule over you. Submit yourselves to them. It says, for they watch over your soul as they that must give account, that when they do it with joy. So what we are talking about in church service or kingdom service transcends time. God is saying, even in eternity, the people you are placed under, he will ask them to give report about you. And he said, when they do it, let them do it with joy. He said, it is beneficial to you. That is why while you are serving on earth, you must not develop the habit of antagonizing, challenging, or contesting against every authority that is over you. Listen, when you come here, you may be whoever or whatever. If they say this is your leader, submit. If they say this is how it is done, submit. It doesn't matter if you are a senator. This is the house of God. I'm telling you how kingdom moves forward. It doesn't matter if you came from America, submit. We are not talking skin color. We are not talking societal status. We are talking governance in the kingdom of God. It is God that ordains leaders. And so if this person is in charge, submit and relax. In due time, God will see your heart and your service and reward you and exhort you. Because God is not unjust to forget your labor of love. He sees everything we do. Even if that leader is not fair, God will judge that person. Your job is not to become the reason why the work is slowed down. Listen, if I will submit for the work to go forward, I'm willing to pay the price. Because the assignment is superior to me. I came to serve the vision. I didn't come for the vision to serve me. That's the difference between a worker and a member. A member came for the vision to serve her, but a worker came to serve the vision. They are two different things. Number two, dogged commitment to personal discipline. If you want to be a visionary worker, you must be doggedly committed to personal discipline. See, I came to discover that a good heart is not enough. There are many people who have a good heart. There are many people who love the vision, but they are too careless and undisciplined to commit anything to them. So a very serious issue can be affected because of their indiscipline. You can have a powerful service that should bless thousands of people, but somebody who is in the studio forgot to connect a wire. As simple as it is, connect a wire. And a service that 20,000 people should be blessed, they will not be blessed because he forgot. You can come for a service that pastor has prayed for 3 days fasting, choir rehearsed for a whole week, people coming from different states because publicity have been made. Somebody can come and tell you she forgot to buy fuel, and the time she's running in the morning to go and buy, there's fuel scarcity and she didn't know. But there's no discipline to buy the fuel at the right time. And so the 3 days fasting can be wasted. The 1 week rehearsal can be wasted. The whole publicity. People took leave from their work, and some people will only take that leave once in a year and travel down, but the whole service can be messed up because somebody forgot to buy fuel. And the agenda of God will sabotage. And when you ask them, they say, I'm sorry. They think I'm sorry is enough. If you want to be a visionary worker, and by implication a leader, you must master the art of discipline. In 1 Corinthians 9:27, Paul said, I beat my body, I bring it under subjection, so that I will not run and be a castaway. There are many people, you ask them, they say, sorry, I slept off. You don't sleep because you are tired. You sleep because you have finished your work. Who told you you have the permission to sleep when the work is undone? Did you not read about God? God worked for 6 days. It's on the 7th day, when creation was completed, that God rested. You have not done anything. You say, I want to rest. What have you done that justifies the rest? Laziness. That's why visions die. Most of the visions that die, they don't die because of the devil. They die because of lazy workers. And the same people who told you they are tired in church, they know they won't dare say they are tired in the bank. How dare you? You rest during break. You don't rest because you are tired. You rest because there's an allocated time for break. How then is it that when you are serving God, you think you can take a break anytime you want? Indiscipline. Because there's no consciousness that what we are doing sustains eternal value. I beat my body. I bring it under subjection. I was listening to Elon Musk in his formative years in business. The guy said he was working for 22 hours in 24 hours. Somebody is receiving prophecy. You can never receive only prophecy and become the richest man in the world. Elon Musk said he discovered that the average CEO works for 40 hours in a week. He started working for 80 hours out of 168 hours. So that what the average CEO completes in December, he will finish it in June. This is in the world. They have this kind of superior mentality. If an average CEO works for 40 hours and finishes his year in December, if I work for 80 hours, I will accomplish what he accomplished in December in June. So that while the average CEO is now doing a cycle of 1 year, I've done 2 years. And then you think they just appear? It takes a lot of discipline. If you are not disciplined, your intelligence will be wasted. If you are not disciplined, your grace will be wasted. And this is why we have many gifted people wasting in the house of God, because they don't know the price to pay to squeeze out the oil. The oil is squeezed, it doesn't flow. You squeeze it out. In our place we have a philosophy, and I learned it from Pastor David Oboeli. He said the difference between night and day is light. So if you have to work at night, on the light. Get fluorescent bulb on it. Night can become day if light is available. That's it. People who serve God, that's their mindset. Joshua 1:8. This book of the law should not depart out of thy mouth. It said, thou shalt meditate upon it day and night, to see that you do what is written therein. So the things you do is day and night. This is work in the house of God. Target commitment to personal discipline. Number 3 is conscious sustenance of a good reputation. You must build consciously a reputation that supports the work. Many people, their character flaws have become a reproach to the work that they do. So although they are anointed, but because they are the one, nobody will go there. So you must build a reputation. Number 1, a reputation that you are good at what you do. You are not just there out of sentiment. You are there by the grace of God because you are the best on that job. So that they seek you not because they love you. They seek you because you can do the job. Number 2, a reputation of integrity. Your nay is nay, your yes is yes. You don't vasculate. When you say this is how it is, that is how it is. Number 3, a reputation that you deliver on the job. There are different dimensions of reputation. Some people are so so unreliable that even a shirt you give them to sew, they will never meet up. Once you think it's a mistake, twice, thrice, you now discover it's their nature. And they carry that garbage into kingdom service. I'm telling you why most of us are backward. Not because God is not gracious. And this is one of the major reasons why we are poor in Africa, apart from corruption. Lack of discipline, lack of integrity, no reputation. Go to the Western world, most of you travel, the system works. If you miss the train in 1 minute, you have missed it. And you may stand there until the next train comes. And God help you that the temperature is not -5 degrees. You will stand there, your ears everywhere will be paining you because of 1 minute. And nobody, there's no I beg. It's gone, it's gone. You will see it like this, it has gone. Some people every year they meet more than 20 flights. They can't catch up anything. That is why they fail in church work. Not because the work is hard, not because the work is so difficult, but because there is an intrinsic deficiency. And that deficiency is that they don't have reputation. So their words mean nothing to them. I will do it, come back, I'm sorry, it's what you hear. No reputation. They talk to you as if you can count on them. Do it at your own risk. No reputation. Don't worry, I will edit the video. Don't worry, I'll watch the toilet. Don't worry, I'll be there by 4 to open the door. 4:30, people are still outside. You come and you are wondering. No reputation. Even while they are talking, they know they won't do it. And they think it's a simple thing, but you don't know why the work is not growing. You are fasting and praying, but there's an usher there sending people back because there's no proper emotional management. You are wondering why a department is not working. There's one person there who is always talking her mind. Me, I will talk my mind. Me, I will talk my mind. And this your mind that you are talking is the most sarcastic type of mind. No regard for elders. No regard for authority. When you talk, you say you are talking your mind. And they attract reproach to themselves. Because you claim you are the head of protocol. You are seeing a woman of 70 years. You say you are talking your mind. And you talk your mind and everybody leaves you with the department. Do it alone. Matthew 5:11. When men revile you and persecute you and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. I'm not saying go and sin and say they are persecuting me. No, that's not the persecution we are talking about. If you sin and you are persecuted, suffer that chastisement. It will help your repentance. We are talking about persecution for his name's sake. So a man who is truly a church worker will be persecuted. It's a price that we pay, and we pay it graciously. 1 Peter 4:14. I want to give you these particular scriptures. Write it down so that when it starts happening, don't cry. Thank God. That means my service is beginning to strike a chord. It says, if you are reproached for the name of Christ, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of God rested upon you. If you are persecuted, accused, reviled, attacked for his name's sake, he said, be happy. The spirit of glory, know that you have entered the realms of glory. The spirit of glory rests upon you. Not everybody have that honor. When the apostles were flogged for the name of Jesus, they came back to their own company and celebrated. Thank God they have now insulted me for my giving. They have insulted me for my work in church. Thank God. They look at you and say, you? Come on. How can a CEO of a bank, you are doing ushering? Respect yourself now. David danced before God as a king until he became naked. Micah insulted him. He said, your father did not make me king. I didn't become a CEO because I'm smart. God made me. And so when I come to God, I'll remain God's baby. So let them say what they want. I'm serving my father. There's no shame about it. Number 2, the second price you pay is the price of time. Anybody who is not willing to pay the price of time cannot serve God. It takes time to serve God. Luke 2:37. The Bible spoke of a widow. It said she was in the temple for 84 years. That's 84 years. And departed not from the temple, but served God with fasting and prayer night and day. She lost her husband at 21. And from then she was in the temple, serving God night and day with fasting and prayers. You know what? It's not a joke. Meanwhile, you look at her, you think she wasted her life. They were the ones that gave Mary a womb. Although Mary was a virgin, but it took those intercessors to set the coordinates of the Spirit for Jesus to come in that generation. And that's why the day Jesus was to be dedicated, both her and the prophet, the Bible said they entered the temple by the Spirit. That child you prayed has come. So although Mary presented virginity, they were the spiritual womb that bore Jesus. Those were the days when women don't talk in church, but not one who served for that long. She will break the protocol, and she showed up and prophesied in a generation where women were told to keep quiet. You don't tell such a person to keep quiet. She's not just a woman, she's a ranking prince in the spirit. Her service has given her a throne among the immortals. In Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 5, the Bible said to serve the Lord with all your might, all your mind, everything about you. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. You use your energy too to serve God. It's a price we pay. It's not only the university, the government, or the bank that will take all my strength. See the way the work system think. Work hour is between 8 and 5 p.m. because they know that is when you are most valuable. You do it for 35 years. When they know you don't have strength, they say retire. Because they are interested in sapping your energy. See, spend your energy generously to God. Because God is not unjust to forget your labor of love. The more you spend, the more your youth is renewed. He will not only bless you with resources, he will replenish your strength. He will replenish. He will keep you in health. Because God don't pay salary, he blesses. Number 4, serve God with your finances. That's the price you pay. Anybody who is a true servant of God spends money serving God. If your resources have not entered, your service is still not very genuine. In Matthew 6:21, Jesus said, where a man's treasure is, that's where his heart is. That's how I judge a man's heart. I don't check where your heart is by tears. Some people have biochemical reaction. The moment something sounds sorrowful, they start weeping. It doesn't mean their heart is there. I will not use tears to trace your heart, especially those of you who are women. The moment they say you are holy, that's not how I check where your heart is. If I want to find your heart, I will look for your wallet. The direction your money is going, that's where I know your heart is. And some people, their whole heart is in their jewelry wardrobe. There's nothing wrong in looking good, but let your resources advance kingdom. See, train yourself. You won't start overnight, but train yourself. I remember when God started dealing with me, 10 naira was difficult to give God. 10 naira. As small as 10 naira is. Give it once. If I give this week, I won't give next week. God moved me to 20 naira. God moved me to 50 naira. God moved me to 100 naira. He knew that if he tells me to give what I'm giving now, we will fight. Maybe I will surrender the calling. So he started from 10 naira because it's a process. You can't claim you are my servant and you don't give. Your resources prove your heart. And so God knew for you to say you are an apostle serving God globally, your resources must prove the depth of your love for me. As a worker, every opportunity to give, embrace it. And the more you do it, the more God enlarges you. You know the way the Bible puts it? 2 Corinthians 9 verse 6 to 8. It says, he that giveth sparingly shall reap sparingly. He that giveth bountifully shall reap bountifully. It says, you should give not grudgingly or of necessity. It says, for God loveth a cheerful giver. And see what he said in verse 8. It says, God is able to make all grace abound towards you. That means all grace is not for every Christian. All grace is for those who give bountifully and they do it cheerfully. To make all grace abound towards you, that you, having all sufficiency, always, in all things, may abound in every good work. That's a realm where some people are living. All sufficiency, always abounding in every good works. That's a worker. You give until it becomes a lifestyle.
Thank you for watching. Please kindly like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you always get notified whenever we post a new video. And don't forget to share. Thank you.